Can you feel it? Our love for boxing, we cannot conceal it.
What's up, bros and broettes? It's the Bro Hammer here. I just wanted to do a quick video, something that I was thinking about as far as boxing goes. I was discussing this with my homeboy Chad the other day, and we were trying to figure out something. Where exactly does this disdain, this bitterness, or almost this hatred from for Floyd Mayweather comes from amongst some boxing fans? And I'm not trying to single out any group of people or disregard any group of people, but I'm kind of specifically talking about the minorities, minority boxing fans, or the Black and Hispanic boxing fans. There's a contingency of people that have this disdain and hate for Floyd Mayweather. Now, before you say it's because of the domestic violence, let's be real here. A lot of you guys did not know who Floyd Mayweather was until after he fought and beat De La Hoya in 2007. He has literally 11 years of a pro career that took place before that. And for those of us that follow boxing, period, and kind of saw his rise, we know he had some allegations of domestic violence. So before those came to light in the 2012, whenever before the Cotto fight, when those allegations came to light, that gave a lot of you people that already did not like him, that gave you a tangible reason for not liking him. Because before that, it was just, he's cocky, he's arrogant, all he does is talk about money. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Because you couldn't say, well, he doesn't knock people out. He was knocking people out before he fought De La Hoya. See, let me educate y'all real quick. This is what happens. When you move up in weight in boxing, and the level of opposition starts to go up, the knockouts don't come as easy as they did before. Now, Floyd Mayweather started his career at 130 pounds. Okay? He was knocking people out at 130, at 135, at 140. He had a few knockouts at 147. And he moved all the way up and fought for the fourth time above 147 on Saturday at the 154-pound weight limit. The first time was against De La Hoya. The second time was against Cotto. Third time, Canelo. And the fourth time was on Saturday against Conor McGregor. When a fighter starts moving up in weight like that, that's almost a 25-pound weight difference. And the level of competition has went up. Ain't nobody knocking out Oscar De La Hoya, man. Like, he got stopped with a body shot by Bernard Hopkins. But ain't nobody knocking out no Hall of Fame fighters. It's very difficult to do because they're elite for a reason. So that's besides the point, though, because some of y'all don't understand that because you're not really boxing fans. You just player haters, but we're going to get on that in a second. But yeah, so before the domestic violence allegations, before a tangible reason was given to you to say that you don't like him, it was he's cocky, he's arrogant, he's brash, or it was just, I just don't like him. Why? Why don't you like him? Now, I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan. He's not my favorite fighter. My favorite fighter is Roy Jones Jr. of all time. I've said it numerous times. But see, what I do is, when it comes to sports, I separate the man from the accomplishments. Okay? I really have no interest in what a lot of these people do in their lives, because everyone has their demons. Okay? For instance, and it's funny because as much flack as Floyd gets, you have somebody in Oscar De La Hoya who is an alcoholic, a cokehead, a cross-dresser, and the biggest, saltiest player hater of all time when it comes to Floyd Mayweather. But he doesn't get the same animosity towards him. It's very interesting. You would think that he would, especially amongst the Hispanic and Mexican fans, because he ain't repping right. If you ask me, I mean, he's a horrible role model. But hey, man, it is what it is as far as that goes. But my issue, and I'm speaking to the brothers right now, Black and Hispanic. You think about this, guys. Okay, like I said, I'm not the biggest Floyd Mayweather fan. I appreciate his boxing skill because I'm a fan of the sport. But we have to realize what this man did in the sport of boxing. Outside of, I know you want to see Rock'em Sock'em. That's not his style. You can get that in other fights. He beat the system. Now think about this. The sport of boxing is designed to rob fighters of their livelihood. We're about to see it with Manny Pacquiao. Watch. If he doesn't retire after he fights Jeff Horn again, and he keeps fighting, he's going to be robbed of some of his faculties and his livelihood. Mike Tyson made $350 million in his career, or purse earnings. He's worth $3 million now. Evander Holyfield made a similar amount. He's worth $350,000. Riddick Bowe made a lot of money. He doesn't have any money now. Most fighters, boxers, greats, they die broke. The game is designed to keep the fighters broke and keep them fighting until they can't fight anymore. And keep them controlled. They're like dogs. That's how the promoters look at them sometimes. They're just dogs to make them money. It's human dog fighting. But Floyd Mayweather, a little man, a 147-pound fighter in his career, with brittle hands, not much knockout power at the higher weight classes, not the most exciting style. He found a way to beat a system that's designed to beat him. Now, let's be honest, most boxers, now we do have an influx of Eastern European boxers that are excellent fighters. But a lot of the prominent boxers are Black and Hispanic, Latino. So I feel some kind of way when I hear a Black man or Hispanic man talk down on this man about him being cocky, arrogant. I just don't like him. I'm like, okay, that's cool and everything. That's your business. I don't count that man's coins. I'm not in his household. But what I do know is that he did something that no other fighter was able to do. As a Black man, as a minority, even as a white guy, there's no white fighters that have done it. So if you're a fan of the sport and you know how these promoters do these fighters, and you saw what Floyd Mayweather did with the game, he played the game and beat it. I can't hate on that. I just can't. I can't hate on it, and I can't be jealous. Like a lot of y'all are jealous. And a lot of y'all are just player haters. You're a player hater. Black man, Hispanic man, you player hating on him. You're jealous. Think about all your favorite fighters that have been robbed of their livelihood and their faculties. And we got one now that Speech isn't slurred. He hasn't been beat up, taking a lot of punishment in the ring. He has all of his money. He's self-made. He bought himself out of that Top Rank contract. He bet on himself, $750,000 of his own money, because he said, I can do this myself and I can make myself a big star. And you gonna hate on that? Really? I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't. It's too many guys that fight. Roy Jones is still fighting. And I don't know if he needs the money or what. Maybe he just loves to fight. That's probably some of it. But I don't want to see a 47-year-old Roy Jones get knocked out again as soon as he takes a half step up in competition. Stay on the commentary booth, Roy, please. You know, a lot of these fighters, black fighters, are jealous of Floyd too. They always throwing shots. Evander, Tyson, B-Hop. They always throwing little shots at him. Little shots. Shouldn't you, what is that? That's jealousy. Shouldn't you be happy? Like, man, one of us did it. One of us finally did it. But you just can't. You can't give him his propers. And as far as him being cocky, arrogant, brash, always flaunting the money, look, man, that is a character. Like I said before, like he says, like I said before, small fighters or smaller fighters, generally in the history of boxing, they didn't make the big money. That was for the bigger fighters, really the heavyweights. The heavyweight division and the middleweight division, those are the two, or have historically been the two crown jewel divisions in boxing. One of the first fighters to really start generating attention and money for the smaller weight classes was Prince Nassim Hamed from the UK. Floyd Mayweather came along. He built on that. What Prince Nassim did, and took it to another level. Now, this is a guy moved up. His knockouts aren't going to come anymore because he's fighting guys that are routinely 15 to 20 pounds bigger than him. His hands are brittle. They have been brittle since, I think he's really started hurting his hands like in 2002. Actually, the only recorded knockdown he had is from when he punched a guy and broke his hand, and he had to take a knee because he hurt himself punching someone. So he can't punch as hard as he should be able to. Brittle hands, fighting guys bigger than him. Defensive style, doesn't take a lot of punishment. How can he market himself to become the biggest star in the sport? Because before, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, before he fought De La Hoya, he was pound for pound number one after Roy, got starched by Tarver the second time. But he wasn't getting the Oscar De La Hoya attention, the money, the notoriety that Oscar got. So, well, what can I do to do that? Okay. I like wrestling. I know there has to be a heel, a bad guy. There has to be a babyface, a good guy. He took on the persona of a heel. He's not really this cocky in real life, guys. He's actually humble. You can hear it in his post-fight interviews. You can hear it when he's talking about his children in interviews. He's talking about his family, his uncle, his father. He's actually not who he presents himself to be on 24/7 and All Access. It's a persona. But you people are so caught up in wanting to hate someone for whatever reason that you do. And we can discard the domestic violence. Okay, I don't like that. Let's just put that out there. But you hated him before that came to light for you. Yeah, it's a persona. It's a WWE character. What Conor McGregor does, that's a character. That's a character to get butts in seats and eyes on the TV screen. That's it. But you buy into it. Now, when you see, you see The Undertaker, WWE, and he's coming up out of the ground, you think he's really coming from hell? Like, do you think he can really, command lightning to strike people and set people on fire and stuff? Come on, y'all. It's the same concept. Do you really believe that? No, he's a character. Mark Calloway, the man who plays The Undertaker. Floyd Mayweather is the man who plays Money Mayweather. And the only way he was going to get to the top was to feed off of your hate and wanting to see him lose, to gain that same notoriety, because he couldn't do it being the golden boy and the pretty boy Floyd. He tried to be pretty boy Floyd. They marketed him just like they did De La Hoya. It wasn't working. It wasn't working because people wanted to dislike him. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Andre Ward is getting the same treatment, and his name is SOG, Son of God. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't cuss. He's a family man, says all the right things, does all the right things, and people still hate on him. Why is that? I don't know. We ain't gonna get into all of that on this channel, but you can take a guess as to why. So he gave you a reason to hate him, a fake reason, and you bought into it. You paid your hard-earned money to see him lose time and time again, and he didn't give it to you. So you probably gonna die hating the man. Hey man, that's on you, whatever. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna continue to separate the man from the accomplishments. I don't care about these guys' life, what they do in their personal time. Just like I don't care what you do in your personal time. I hope you're, making good use of it. But I just appreciate the accomplishments. I appreciate his dedication to the sport. He's one of the fighters that didn't smoke, drink, or abuse his body like so many champions in the past, like De La Hoya did, like Mike Tyson did. The guys that you like, that you hold in high regard, they might not be that good of people outside of the ring either. But you still love them. I don't know. It's weird to me. But yeah, man, that was just something I wanted to talk about real quick because I just can't. I'm tired of all the player hating. It's not a good look, man. Especially for men. It's not a good look, y'all. Stop counting coins. Stop being player haters and stop being jealous of other men. Like, chill with all of that, okay? As always, share, like, comment, and subscribe. Brohammer TV. It's the Brohammer signing out.